Without leadership, ladies and gentlemen, an organization cannot grow. UDB, Tuni Muchara Mugalanda, Fenna ya tukulira. Nekulanga enjagala ensiye. Chetuba tusobola okukola emirimu gyaffe. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce a woman of valor. A woman who stirs the UDB ship, Madame Patricia Ojangole. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Barbara. Right Honorable Justin Lumumba. Dr. Muvawala, I think he's stepped out. A representative of His Majesty, William Wilberforce Gabula. Honorable David Migereko. I'm Chairman UTB. Members of Parliament present, district leaders. Allow me to stand on the rest of existing protocol. And I thank you all for accepting our invitation to join the Kingdom as we facilitate this important discourse about development of BUSOGA region. This region has 4.3 million people across 11 districts, and we desire to penetrate all of them. The region offers opportunities that have been said. I'm not going to repeat them. I like what Dr. Mubala said, that we know the opportunities better, and that's the reason that we are here. So everyone has an idea that we can help you transform into a business, and that's the reason that we are here. Why do we do this? Why are we here? It's within our mandate as UDB. We are guided by our purpose statement, which is to improve the quality of life of all Ugandans. So when you walk through our door, giving you money is the last thing. It is a means, but we have an objective and an agenda that we are looking at. So what we do finally, giving you money or any support, is a means to get you there. We have 3 key goals. The first one is to promote sustainable agri-food systems. If you unpack that, it's anything in agriculture value chain. And my colleague coming after me will be breaking it down in terms of what specifically. But anything, if you're a farmer, whatever you need, even something that you cannot imagine or think of that we would finance, we would do. The second is to promote sustainable industrialization. With industry, we look at 3 components: agro-industry, mineral-led value addition. We talked about mineral potential in the region, and knowledge-based or capital-intensive industry, just like Kira Motors, and then we know the value chains that can develop to support that value chain. And we're already doing some work around there where we hope that we can support a lot of developing SMEs along that value chain that can support that industry. So those are some of the opportunities that we see in this region. The third is to promote a sustainable services sector, tourism, human capital development, anything, services, the bank supports. So it's in that context and with great joy that I welcome all our distinguished guests to this event. And in this event, we get to collectively map and discuss the socio-economic transformation for BUSOGA. I've listened to our chief guest and the pointers in terms of what more we can do. And we'll be, of course, working with you. We cannot do this alone, to see how to materialize a number of those ideas that we have. I'm very glad to see how BUSOGA people are working together. We have been in different regions, and without getting into details, sometimes it's not as easy and seamless to get everyone working together. Where you have your political leadership working together with the private sector and everyone. And I think for me, that is a great opportunity, and it's a key foundation for the region to transform. I must say this because I'm really quite impressed. So every region has enormous opportunities. Right Honorable said BUSOGA is different, and there is no other BUSOGA. There is no other region which is going to have the source of the Nile, for example, so that opportunity is here for the BUSOGA. We started this concept of regional investment forums a few years ago, and as a way of helping us, of course, working together with key stakeholders, like you see, all gathered here across different divides. We usually plan a few in a year, and I want to agree with what my sister said, that this conversation started with when she came to ask me for money for Namugongo. And I said, may I have money for Ugandans, for your people, not money to go and spend, yeah? But at least I made a contribution. I hope you received it for Namugongo. And when we talked about what the bank does, and she said, do BUSOGA. If you tell me even to come tomorrow at 7 a.m., I'll be here for the sake of BUSOGA. And yes, we had planned BUSOGA, but we had to fast track it. And of course, it also becomes very easy for us if we identify partners that we can work with, like around helping us mobilize the right people, like now, the people that we have here. So thank you very much, Right Honorable. So what does UDB do? If I have a personal mission statement while still serving in this capacity, it is to ensure that every Ugandan that has a viable business idea in the sectors and interventions of the bank should not use access to capital as an excuse for not working. You'll be seeing that our interventions are tailored. When you talk about access to capital, people used to say there is no money. Our own understanding and appreciation and what we see is that there is money. Even the commercial banks are holding a lot of money. We call it liquidity. That is why they can lend government and Dr. Muvawala. So they would rather lend government because that is risk-free and keep it in other investments and not give that money to you, the private sector, to work. And yet that is the role of banks. Mobilize deposits, excess money from people, channel those deposits to investments. So that is the role of banks. But we are not doing it. There are a number of reasons and factors. So the issue is not that there is no money. The money can be found. The money is there. What we also discovered is part of this problem of access to money is, we call it demand side. Help people to get to access that money. And we have also been learning from these forums. I remember the first ones that we did would get over 1,000 people in a room like this, and then we do a nice presentation, like my colleague Sam is about to do for a very nice presentation. And then we say, come for money, but these are requirements. This is the checklist, you know. Those days, I think the checklist was even long, and it was a one-size-fits-all. So if you want 10 billion shillings and another one wants 100 million, we'll give you the same checklist. But we learned along the way. So we have what we call special programs, very easy to accept. But we have to learn. You know, when we come down, we learn. So that's why we are saying we have come to understand how best we can serve you. So what we learned was that if we just say we have money, come for it, this is the list, this is the process, nobody came. And then we said, okay, we have to do something more, help people address these issues that make them not come. Help them register, train them, do business advisory, support them, tone down. And then you have to also think about the programs. If you are a youth, certain age group, we know that by your age probably you have not worked to acquire certain amount of assets that you can walk into the bank with. So how do we help you? If you're a woman, we know the challenges that our women have around their environment. How do we structure and tailor programs around that? If you are an SME that everyone does not want to give money to because they say you are risky, you are not registered, you don't have governance. So we are providing everything across that value chain of access to credit. So what we offer is solutions. So what you have to do is just come to us, just come as you are. And we shall start guiding you, we shall start teaching you. If we have to start from scratch, we shall start. If we have to start to get you registered, we shall support you. That's why you see we have partners here and help you go through that process until you can qualify to get money from the bank. That's what Dr. Mbola was saying, that we teach, we educate, we facilitate, we enable access to getting money. So the reason we do that is because we have a big agenda that we look at. It is to support businesses to grow. One, if it's not there, establish it. We have to create jobs for ourselves, for our children. And there are a lot of business opportunities around that. So start businesses, start to work. And if the business is small, we want it to grow from small to medium. If it's a medium business, we want it to grow to large. We want the private sector to thrive. Only then shall we create and maintain jobs, which is our ultimate agenda, generate tax revenue for the government, grow output value, and also pay back the money that you lend, that we lend to you. Because when we come, we look at the business and the ability of that business to make money for you, but also to pay back the bank's money. We have not come only to disappear. What we usually do is a few weeks from now, right from today, you will establish relationships with anyone you'll engage with in the bank. And our business is organized that there are specific people who look at specific things. And I'll be calling the team here to introduce themselves and what they do. So if you're agriculture, if you come to the office, the first thing we ask you is what is it that you want, what's your sector. If it's agriculture, there are specific people. And these people have developed expertise, they understand the industry, they understand the sector, they understand the challenges. So there are specific people who do that. If it's tourism, there are specific people. If it's manufacturing, there are specific people. So when you come and you want to do agriculture, we are not going to give you to someone who does education, for example, because they have established skills and expertise around sectors and challenges and what people need and what the private sector needs. So these are interventions, but the team will also come to follow up from the contacts we shall establish. We'll identify the ones who need to go into our business advisory program. We shall start that program with you. And we are very, very, very keen to support everyone that is here. So again, my message, come as you are to us and do not fear or think that you cannot qualify or access. We are here to help you be able to access that. Of course, with much appreciation, I want to thank the shareholders. The government has now put in the bank 1.29 trillion shillings as capital. I'm happy to report that we have not lost any shilling of that money. We have deployed the money for the intended purpose. In fact, we have even been growing shareholder value from that money. So we have not lost the money that government has put into the bank. The bank's mandate covers the whole country. The bank serves anybody. Forget about some noise that some of you may have heard, that the bank is only based in Kampala, the bank only serves big businesses that are established, the bank, does ABCD. That is not correct, as you'll be hearing. The bank is here for Ugandans. We're actually being a bit selfish now. Wish I could whisper what I'm saying, but we really want the money to benefit Ugandans. And we are focused around that. We support a lot of farmer groups across the country, farmer cooperatives, special groups that I've mentioned, youth, women, SMEs, as you'll be seeing in our products and services. We have projects in 83 districts in Uganda. And over the last 5 years, we have approved 3 trillion shillings in terms of loans, people that are accessing the money of all, sizes. And we have disbursed, actually, 2.1 trillion shillings. This is 75% of this money goes to the key sectors: agriculture, agro-industry, manufacturing. I think that reflects the economic reality of the country, and also where you see government is kind of prioritizing and making sure that there is an enabling environment for investments in that sector. So about 75% of this money has gone to those sectors. Over the period, and true to our mandate, we have created and maintained 169,000 jobs. We have generated an output value of 11.8 trillion shillings and contributed over 600, close to 700 billion in tax revenue to the government through the interventions that we do. And of course, we have seen the profitability of the private sector businesses that we support go up. So when you're a private sector business, you make more money as your business, you have more money in your pocket, and you can then improve the quality of your life, take your children to school, afford better health care, and your general quality of life, improves. So that is the purpose for which we are here. So we're here to introduce UDB to the region. We have been engaging maybe on an ad hoc basis through recommendations from 1 or 2. I don't know where Mr. Were got these people from Kaliro and things like that. But the teams have been trying. And the reason we do this kind of forums is to really just have an opportunity like this to tell everybody that the bank is here and this is what it can do for you. So we're introducing UDB today, contextualize the business landscape and co-create relevant solutions. Let's co-create this together. Most importantly, we want to get close to the business community. When we engage business people, we're actually more invested. You'll be surprised that we probably will care more about your business succeeding than you do. Because sometimes some people come and then we say, no, this will not work this way. This is how it's going to work. And, at the end of the day, they appreciate. So we are very, very invested. So we want to understand your needs. For you to know the bank more, seek clarification. We're going to have sessions. We'll be here the whole day. So we're going to have, specific sessions. You will identify where you belong, and you'll have close interaction with the teams in terms of where next from here. In UDB, there is something for everyone. Special thanks to our partners in development, the various government agencies that we work with, of course our customers, mainly the private sector, and all the institutions who are represented here today. We thank you. I think we have UNBS, UIA, URA, URSB, and other MDAs. Sometimes we identify solutions to challenges in specific sectors, and we have to work with these MDAs for us to kind of co-create solutions around there. I don't know how better to say an enhanced version of a special thanks to Honorable Justin, Right Honorable Justin Lumumba Kasule, for embracing the forum, for volunteering to be the patron of UDB in BUSOGA and chief mobilizer for this specific event. and Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga for her leadership in the region and for accepting in absentia to be our chief guest today. The Charazinga for the partnership. I think this has only started. We look forward to working together with you and through your structures to see that we can impact families and livelihoods in Busoga. And of course, I will not forget Dr. Muvawala for working the UDB journey and being part of the UDB story that we have today. He's right when he mentions that he supported the rebirth of UDB. Because I remember together with him, we had to do a paper on strengthening UDB. I think that's over 10 years ago. And we presented this paper to the Presidential Economic Council. And then that's where the, issues around capitalize the bank is, required, putting it in the National Development Plan, kind of started, and that's when you now started hearing about the bank. Of course, OWC, General Sales represented by Engineer Chibuka Ronald. They have been our partner since we started these forums. Please send our regards to General. Before I get off stage, I wish to say thank you to the best team that I know in the world. That's the UDB team. And as I'm saying this, I request all of them to stand up, just come here very quickly, all the UDB team. Thank you most sincerely to each one of you as you come for the selfless effort and work to pull this off. I think today in UDB, there is no work. I don't know that we have any meetings, there are probably no approvals. I hope you have your laptops. But the entire team is here. Where are the rest? General Andama, please bring that team that is that side quickly. I just want to introduce the people that you'll be talking to in your respective sectors and what you do. Sumin, please get Andama and team to come as the ones that are here, in the interest of time, start to introduce themselves. So I'll give you a microphone. You greet the voters and just tell them what you do in the bank. Thank you.
Good afternoon, BUSOGA region. It's a pleasure to speak, to get an opportunity to speak before huge, massive numbers. I'm Nakandi Sophie, and I'm in charge of the legal department, and my role is to mitigate the legal risk. But in the language that you appreciate, I'm in charge of preparation and structuring legal arguments that basically formalize the relationship between UDB and you, our dear customers. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from Busoga sub-region. I am Dr. Francis Mwesije. I work as the Chief Economist, but also Director for Economic Research and